Good morning, Auburn, and welcome to another exciting episode of Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, Auburn's premier home for student-run radio since 1971. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside my color man, Davis Carroll, and the incomparable Alex Houston, co-sports director here at WEGL. We'd like to welcome in our listeners and viewers from across the Auburn-Opelika Megaplex and around the world, however you may be joining us today, whether that be on your terrestrial radio antenna, through the information superhighway at weglfm.com, or tuning in after the fact on transistor.fm, watching us on Eagle Eye TV, or listening to our podcasts. We are happy to have you here in the booth with us for Auburn's only student-run drive time morning show. And now, of course, we are broadcasting live from the Bradley Basin WEGL studios in the bowels of the Harold Melton Student Center on the campus of Auburn University, where it is a lovely 71 and overcast this fine Wednesday morning. We wish you a illustrious good morning as we get on with the show. Davis, how are you doing today?
A little tired. Got a test at 11, but I'm feeling good about it. And then tomorrow's the start of fall break, so it's going to be a good one.
Smart start of fall break indeed. Wishing you good luck on your Espanol test. And we'll throw it over to Alex, who is joining us on the show once again. Alex, how are you feeling about things today?
I'm doing pretty good. I thought I was going to have two midterms yesterday and studied for one, and then my teacher didn't show up to my 6 p.m. class for our exam, and then sent us an email at 6:23 saying, by the way, I won't be in class today. So that was unfortunate, but also refreshing because I didn't have to take an exam, so now I'm doing pretty good.
That is refreshing indeed is a good word for it. Okay, so we got to a lot on the show yesterday, so there's plenty to get to on the show today. I'm sure we will talk about the AL wildcard game that happened last night, as that was an exciting one with a lot of surprises. But there's also even more to get to in the world of, news, sports, happenings, and all that. So we will get to all of that as well on the show today. I'd like to remind you that if at any point in the show you feel so inclined to ask us a question, suggest a topic, drop a hot take, or in the highly unlikely event we get something wrong, if you want to correct us, you can go ahead and call in at 334-844-9345. That's 334-844-WEGL. You can also send us a tweet at CDiscAU. That's at CDISCAU. And we would love to get back to you about whatever inquiry you may have. Okay, so Davis, the results are in on Fat Bear Week.
I'm not confident in the results of the vote.
Stop the count.
Stop the count. We need a recount. Need an audit going. Need to see what happened to make sure 151 wins, because I know he won in my heart.
That's right. So yes, if you were not privy to this information, yesterday on the show we discussed, due to the finale of Fat Bear Week, we discussed the concept of Fat Bear Week, which is a 20 bear knockout elimination bracket to determine who is the fattest bear in the Katmai National Park up in Alaska. And yesterday at 8 p.m., the election was called. The people have spoken. The portly patriarch of Paunch preserved to pulverize the Baron of Bear Donkadonk in the final match of hashtag Fat Bear Week 2021. 480 Otis can now boast a bevy of bests with his fourth first-place finish. As we celebrate like a true champ, 480 is still chowing down. So 480 Otis was deemed for the fourth time the fattest bear in the national park, and it really puts the conversation to bed on who the fattest bear is.
480 Otis, kind of like the LeBron of fat bears. Got 4 championships, undisputed.
I wonder who his teammates were during those championships.
All the fish he ate along the way.
Interesting. So tune in to yesterday's podcast if you would like the full scoop on Fat Bear Week, including Davis and Chris both making their cases for why their respective fat bears should have been victorious. But unfortunately for Davis, it seems that the people have spoken, and his bear is not.
I think if more people that voted had heard the show, they would have sided with me. I feel like I made some decent points.
Fair enough. All right, so we are going to get to your campus news, including this weekend in athletics. There's Plenty going on in athletics this weekend, including, of course, Auburn versus Georgia. That is the main event going on 2:30 p.m. in Jordan-Hare Stadium versus the Georgia Bulldogs, visiting Jordan-Hare Stadium, number 2 in the country, to play the number 18 Auburn Tigers. But that is not the only thing going on this weekend. There is, of course, tip-off at Tumors presented by Yellowwood. That is Thursday, tomorrow, 10/7, from 4 to 9 p.m. So men's and women's basketball preseason event. You can meet the teams. There are going to be skills contests, dunk contests. You're going to hear from Coach Pearl, Coach Harson, Coach Harris, everybody. Admission is free, no tickets, first come, first serve. To get the best seats, it's going to be standing room only, just up against the barricades. First, I think a couple thousand people there are going to get free T-shirts and shakers. So get there as early as you feel like you need to watch tip-off at Tumors tomorrow evening. You can also listen to yesterday's show where Jungle President Jacob Hillman gave you the inside scoop on everything you need to know. But there's the Cliff Notes version. Just, come on out, support the men's and women's basketball team during this preseason event. There's going to be a dunk contest, which is always fun, probably some recruits in the house, as well as all of our favorite personalities from here on the Plains, Coach Pearl, Coach Harson, and, of course, Coach Harris from the women's team. Admission is, of course, free, and it is a standing room only event, so don't worry about any tickets. All right, and then on Friday at 3 p.m., this is Auburn's number 1 equestrian team. It's going to be taking on Georgia's number 2 equestrian team. There's going to be a T-shirt giveaway, and you are able to take the Tiger Transit, the Webster Road line, to the vet school, and it's right across the street from there. So that is 3 p.m. on Friday, 10/8. There's also going to be a statue unveiling on Friday of Jordan-Hare and Dye, the 3 namesakes of Jordan-Hare Stadium and Pat Dye Field. It's going to be on the corner of where Tiger Walk happens, there by the scholarship entrance. So check that out if you need something to do on Friday. Plenty of events going on game day as well. That is 10/9, Saturday, 10:30 in the morning. The Fan Fest and the Home Plate Tailgate opens, which is over by the baseball field. 12:30 p.m. is Tiger Walk, and the gates will open at 2:10. The pregame festivities will begin. Your Eagle Flight, your marching band, and then at 2:30 p.m. your football versus Georgia will finally kick off. And then on Sunday we have 2 p.m. number 22 Auburn University women's soccer taking on Louisiana State. It is the mental health awareness game. It is at the Auburn soccer complex, right across the street from the athletics complex, and it is free admission. So plenty, four long days of all things Auburn athletics kicking off tomorrow. So hopefully the weather holds up. It stays nice and dry and sunny for tip-off at Tumors, equestrian versus Georgia, Auburn versus Georgia in football, and then on Sunday, women's soccer versus LSU. So big weekend coming up.
Also, reports say that up to 20 4- and 5-star recruits have been invited and will be making the trip to Auburn this weekend to watch the Georgia game, assumingly in the recruit section of the stadium. So a very big game for the Brian Harsin era as well. But so that too.
You can also listen to the Auburn versus LSU soccer game right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. We are the exclusive home for Auburn University soccer. So if you're not able to attend, of course it is free admission, but if you're not able to make it out to the Auburn soccer complex, you are able to catch the action as our number 22 Auburn Tigers take on the LSU Tigers on Sunday. You can listen to that right here on WEGL 91.1. Auburn students have been challenged by Georgia in a Beat Week Giving Challenge. Any amount donated to Auburn college or school programs counts. You can give at auversusuga.com. So we have until midnight on October 9th to beat Georgia in this giving campaign. So if you would like information on that, you can go to auburnGiving.org/beatuga. That's auburnGiving.org/beatuga. I think that's going to do it for campus announcements. A little bit of a look ahead. Auburn Stages is going to continue beginning next week, and then Heyday next week is as well. Next Wednesday, October 13th. Auburn Tradition Heyday will be taking place on Wednesday, October 13th. You can also order a T-shirt for that if you would like one, and you will be able to pick it up on Heyday. So if you need to know about that, you can just go to SGA or aub.ie/Heyday shirt and get your Heyday shirt today. So that's going to do it for campus announcements. When we come back, we are going to be talking about that AL wildcard game and what it means for the playoff picture. Don't go anywhere. We'll be talking baseball on the other side of this break. I'm Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll and Alex Houston. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with the rest of the show.
These are the moments you remember.
The kick is good! Auburn wins!
These are the sounds you celebrate.
Fastball driven, deep left center field! David Ross, you have company!
Whether it's the stadium, the arena, or the ballpark.
Auburn 75, Kentucky 70. I think I'll storm the court. There goes Davis! Oh my God!
Your home for Auburn sports is the Auburn Sports Network.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey.
Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I'll go to visit brainhealth.gov.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids. Healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
In Alabama, the recycling industry employs nearly 11,000 men and women. Recycling just 10% more would create an additional 1,400 jobs and $66 million in personal income. To learn about recycling opportunities in your area, contact the East Alabama Recycling Partnership. Recycling works in Alabama. Brought to you by the East Alabama Recycling Partnership, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hi, I'm Harrison Smith. You may know me from my work as Scuba, one of the hosts of the hit award-winning show Nerdcore on WEGL 91.1 FM. But what you may not know about me is that I'm a website enthusiast. That's why I'm here to tell you about WeagleFM.com. It's our hotspot on the web with live broadcast articles and more. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. Tune into your favorite shows at any time with a 24/7 online stream right on the homepage. And don't forget to check out the schedule for our station's full selection of music, sports, and talk shows. For the sports fans, there's articles aplenty covering all of the current events in football, basketball, and beyond. For those music fans, WEGL FM has got you covered. We have album and concert reviews and theme playlists for any mood. We even have live musical performances with WEGL Sessions. There's more than enough content here to keep you procrastinated when you really should be studying for that test. That's right, we know you've been slacking off. Get back to it, lazy. So, no matter what sound you're looking for, we've got it only on WeagleFM.com. That's WEGLFM.com and Weagle 91.1 FM, Auburn.
1 in 5 people in the U.S. have an STD.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll and Alex Houston. Let's jump right back into things here on Compact Discourse. We are, of course, going to be talking about, for just a little bit, the American League wildcard game that happened last night, as it was the first postseason game of this 2021 season to not break the tie, but see who would get into the playoffs for the American League wild card, as Boston and New York finished the season with identical records. They both made it to the postseason and had to play a one-game playoff to determine who has the right to travel down to Tampa Bay to take on the number one seeded Rays in the American League starting later on this week. All right, the Boston Red Sox did prevail in this game last night. They defeated the New York Yankees 6-2 by dint of absolutely shelling Garrett Cole to begin this game, scoring 3 runs in those first 3 innings. Garrett Cole finishes the night with 2 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. So not exactly what the Yankees were looking for when it comes to writing one of the biggest checks in baseball history for their playoff starter. Eovaldi for the Sox gets the win. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts, no walks. So pretty fantastic performance for Eovaldi. Yankees did not strike in this game until the 6th inning, and then a futile effort in the 9th makes it a 6-2 ball game for the Red Sox. They will be traveling to Tampa Bay later this week to take on the top-seeded Rays. Plenty of action in this one last night, including Xander Bogaerts homering to center field and scoring Rafael Devers. That was a 427-foot home run that put Boston up 2-0. Schwarber then homered to right field in the 3rd inning to make it 3-0. In the 6th inning, Rizzo for the New York Yankees hit his homer as well to make it a 1-3 game. So all the first 4 runs of the game coming off of home runs, as is typically what happens in Fenway. And then in the 6th inning, Verdugo doubles deep to right to score Bogaerts to make it 4-1. And then in the 7th inning, Verdugo singles to center. Hernandez scored. Schwarber scored. Verdugo stretched out at second and sent Bogaerts to third to make it 6-1. And then a futile home run from Giancarlo Stanton in the top of the 9th makes this a 6-2 ball game, and that is where the score sat. Lots of storylines in this one, including the 7 walks issued by the New York Yankees to Boston's 0. New York had plenty of guys on base. They had 12 total bases to Boston's 15, but it was just the slow start that the Garrett Cole afforded the Yankees that led to such a unfortunate ending for the New York Yankees season. You had Giancarlo Stanton go 3 for 4 with 1 run, 1 RBI. He averaged, 750 in the game, going 3 for 4. So offense not necessarily the problem for the Yanks, but just not able to plate any runs. And a big problem with that, I think, was the Green Monster, which I think kept 2 home runs in the park, including 1 from Aaron Judge in the first inning. How do we feel about this playoff matchup so far, fellas?
I'll admit I was wrong. Yesterday, I said I was expecting the Yankees to win, and I'm happy they didn't win. I'm not a big Yankees fan. I would rather have the Red Sox win, but I just genuinely thought that the Yankees were going to get the win just based off their power and everything about them. But I wasn't planning on Garrett Cole playing like this. He only pitched 2 innings or something, right?
That's correct.
I wasn't planning on.
He got yanked in the third.
Yeah, I was not planning on him playing this bad. I'm sure if he
I don't
had
think
his,
the Yankees were either.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I'm sure if he had his spider tack, then it would have been a totally different game for him. But I'm glad the Red Sox won. It's going to be a good series between them and the Rays. Correct?
That's correct.
When that's going to be starting? Next week or later this week?
It starts on Thursday, I believe.
Okay.
I'll pull up our playoff schedule, and we can talk about the rest of the matchups.
All right. Sounds cool. But, yeah, I didn't get to watch the whole game. I got to see a little bit of it. I was studying for Spanish with a friend of the show, J.P. Williams. Got some good studying in here at WEGL. And then I was walking out and watched a little bit on the TV and saw some updates and highlights and stuff. Yeah. I hope to watch some more playoff games coming soon, though.
It is a little unfortunate that this playoff rivalry was limited to only 1 game because ESPN was really milking the whole Yankees-Red Sox thing throughout the broadcast because they knew they were only going to get 1 game's worth of it.
Okay, would you rather have seen a Yankees-Red Sox game, or let's say series, or Mariners-Blue Jays game?
I would
see
rather
2 teams that never get in versus this team you've seen play each other thousands of
I would
times.
rather see Yankees or Blue Jays Mariners, but nobody.
We're not Yankees or Red Sox fans.
And
here,
we don't make money off of TV either. So
that's fair.
I'm neither a Yankees or Red Sox fan, but I do love a good rivalry game. So those are always.
I'm always an underdog fan before a rivalry fan for me.
The opposite.
Mariners and Blue Jays are both underdogs.
Something we talked about when I was on Monday, because you mentioned how ESPN was and everybody else was hoping it'd be more of a series from these 2 teams. So you'd mentioned the split up into 4 divisions being the solving factor for the MLB's wild card problem, and that problem being a 100-win team being in the wild card round. But wouldn't the more proper solution, I guess, be to go with the NBA format and just do the best 8 teams are the best 8 spots? And that's that. Like, I know the baseball teams are very much tied to the teams they play in their division, so therefore doing away with the significance of winning your division is risky, but I feel like they need to avoid this getting a 100-win team in for 1 game. And again, having the Red Sox and Yankees, 2 of the most storied franchises in the history of American sports, not just baseball for that matter, only playing 1 game. Would the NBA be a good solution to you guys? At least the NBA format?
I think they're too much tied to the division, like you said. They play those same 4 teams half the year. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think just taking away the part that you beat these teams in your division so much.
In NBA, you play your division like 4 times a year. Is that right?
Yes,
just 4.
Yeah,
that's
not
correct.
near as much as. MLB.
You can play your division a same team 4 times a week in baseball.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I was just spitballing because I was thinking about that because I don't know what the proper solution is. I just know it's not working right now.
Because last year they attempted an NBA, not NBA style, just they did a top 8 both sides, in the American and the National, and that was who made it to the playoffs, and then you got seeded accordingly. And if that had happened this year, you would have had teams. Oh, where's my wild card standings? There. You would have had, of course, Toronto and Seattle getting in, as well as the Oakland Athletics as well, with Oakland playing the top-seeded Tampa Bay. So I just think that I don't. People were obviously watching the MLB playoffs last year because it was the first, real sports to come back after playing a semi-normal season, if you want to call it that, about as normal as you could get last year. But I didn't see a lot of excitement for, a 3-game series between Atlanta and Cincinnati that kicked off, or that first pitch was at 11 a.m. So, I think that there's the way baseball works is that you want to immediately begin playing as soon as the regular season ends to keep your momentum, because that's so important in baseball. So if you had any kind of system like that where you're having to play a lowly team in order to get to the where the playoffs need to be, which is the top teams competing each other, I think there's too much of a chance of loss of momentum in order to implement that system. So I think the baseball playoffs are best when they're lengthy series, but don't have very many opponents, if that makes sense.
That's a fair point.
All right, we are going to have to hit a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to continue talking playoff baseball. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM and WeGLFM.com. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more of the show. Go ahead and call in at 334-844-9345 if you got something to say. We'd love to hear from you. Weather on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
If you've been working, you've already proven yourself in ways you may not even notice. Managing your time, communicating effectively, and working as part of a team are key skills that employers value. At alabamaworks.com, you can find out how to build on your experience to up your game and get the job you really want, because it's out there. Start your new success story at alabamaworks.com.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future, and I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Watch out for people riding bikes. It's not just courteous, now it's the law. The new 3 Feet for Safety Act requires that drivers give at least 3 feet of space when passing bicyclists. More and more people are commuting and touring Alabama on bicycles. As the number of cyclists on our roads increases, so does the need for safe driving. So slow down and give cyclists 3 feet of room. Follow the rules of the road and watch out for each other. Learn more at drivesafealabama.org. Sponsored by ALDOT, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll and Alex Houston, welcoming you into the booth today. It is the bottom of the hour, 8:33, which means we are going to move along with the show and get to your War Eagle weather report right now.
War Eagle weather.
And we are going to jump right in with the Auburn, Alabama weather report for today, October 6th, 2021. It is 70 degrees and a little bit hazy outside here on the plains. The high today is 76 and the low today is 68. We are currently Lee County under a flash flood watch issued by the National Weather Service in Birmingham. So if rain begins, do take the appropriate precautions. to avoid any kind of danger that would arise from rising floodwaters. There's a 48% chance of rain through 9 a.m., which means rain will probably continue throughout the day. We're dealing with an 80% chance of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. In the evening, it's going to be a 50% chance of rain. And overnight, the showers will continue, the thunder will stop, and we'll sit at 70 degrees and 68% chance of rain. Not very windy this afternoon, less than a 7-mile-per-hour wind, but it should be pretty consistent. Low visibility, high humidity. You guys know the drill. It's a rainy autumn day here in Alabama. So we will enjoy, as we deal with the weather in autumn, we will enjoy the good parts of autumn. And one of those good parts of autumn is, of course, the MLB playoffs, as those continue to roll on, kicking off last night with the Boston Red Sox defeating the New York Yankees 6-2 in the American League wild card game. The Boston Red Sox will play at the Rays on Thursday. You can watch that one on MLB Network or Fox Sports 1. Jumping over to the National League, we have the St. Louis Cardinals. They will be playing the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight, Wednesday, 7 p.m. on TBS. The game last night took a really long time. Did you guys pick up on that?
It was. I could tell by the time you texted me, like, "Are you watching it?" And by the time I got home, it was maybe just ending, and that was around like, I don't know, like 8. And what time did it start?
Started at 7, and
okay, then it went longer than I thought it did.
Then by 9:45, it was only the middle of the 6th. So,
what caused it to go so long? I mean,
I
I didn't
don't
watch
know.
the
It's
game.
baseball.
I mean, it's just
Garrett Cole takes a while to pitch, anyways.
Well, he wasn't in the game very long.
That's true.
I mean, managers are over managing. They don't want to make a mistake. And it was on ESPN. There was probably a lot of TV breaks to talk to former players and stuff like that. I will say I got a little bored with the game after it was just a lot of the Yankees striking out. So I did flip between other things. It did not capture my full attention, sadly, as I hoped it would. As it did not look like the Yankees were producing any kind of offense. So I was not motivated that they'd be able to climb out of that 3-0 hole they dug themselves in early in the game. So I wasn't glued to it, like I'm sure Yankees and Sox fans were. Probably Bay Marks and Daniel Locke here on Compact Discourse are pretty excited about the victory for their Sox, but the game did take a long time. I wish it didn't.
Here, so since it's so long, do you have any solutions you think the MLB should look into? I mean, they've already been trying to for a while. Rob Manfred's been...
Stop letting ESPN broadcast baseball games.
Interesting.
That's top of my list.
I do have an article here if you want to go over some. If not, we can move on.
That's fine. I'd like to talk to that. I mean, playoff baseball is a little different, and I think they like to try out new stuff broadcast-wise in the playoffs, so we'll see if game changes and broadcast changes, how they can work together to make the game more palatable to a more casual audience. Because this is how MLB makes their money is the casual people watching the playoffs.
These are crazy articles. The one I chose, it started out normal and went crazy. I'll read the ones that are normal first. Obviously, there's ones like pitching clock. I'm in favor of that personally. I think that'd be a good way to, because I mean, pitchers still have time to do their whole warm up thing, but they're not going to take 2 minutes to do it. No more commercial breaks during pitching changes, which I feel like either way it's gonna. Do they conform the commercials to how long the pitching change is usually?
I think they can kind of do it on the fly, however long they need.
Yeah, so I don't think that one's a big issue. Bring in robot umps, which is people have been saying for length of the game, and to get rid of like Joe West, Angel Hernandez type people.
But they're terrible at their job.
That's only balls and strikes, though.
That's true.
And I feel like balls and strikes, while they can affect the outcome of the game, they don't really affect the length of the game.
Yes.
I would say they could in a case of, so you've got a robot ump who technically wouldn't be wrong, right?
They are wrong. There's videos of
okay, well, in that case,
wrong.
then the idea of using it is that you avoid the constant discussions that follow suit every time.
Well, you're not allowed to argue. You're not allowed to argue balls and strikes.
Well, I mean, rarely.
They don't do it that often because they'll get thrown out if they do.
Well, I'm just but
they'll yell at them. But I mean, like, that's a part of baseball I want to keep. I like it when people get
no.
thrown
I
out.
do too. I'm just saying baseball does have a time problem.
So another one is changes to just 7-inning games altogether, which I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like that's one of the things that baseball should not change ever. Okay, now it's starting to get goofy. Ban in-game dugout interviews. That one's not one of the goofy ones, but
I mean, does that slow down the game?
I mean, I really don't. I don't think any of the solutions in this are fixing any issues that really slow it down.
It sounds like this person's just grumpy.
Replace extra innings with a home run derby.
Bad.
Good take from you. Ban Yankee/Red Sox games. This was written in 2016.
Yeah, this person was just grumpy.
Kill third base. Hit Mark Burley as a game time. Hire Mike Burley as a game time consultant. No more mound visits. Dog ground crews. So yeah,
I like that last one.
Would that speed up the game though?
I mean,
that article tricked me.
You did get bamboozled into
the first one. I was like, okay, yeah, pitching clock, yeah, I'm with that. And then one of them was players not wearing clothes, which was obviously just thrown in there to make you second guess what you're reading about.
Great.
So yeah, that was a waste of an article. Kind of threw us off the rails there. That's my bad. I thought we were actually going to talk about speeding up baseball.
Okay. Well, speaking of speeding up baseball, we will speed right into the playoff bracket. For those of you not familiar with the playoff format, it is, of course, once the wild card games get resolved, it is a pair of divisional series on each side of the American League and National League, culminating in a championship series on the National League and American League, which is a best of 7. The divisional series are a best of 5. So, with the win last night, the Red Sox will travel to St. Petersburg and Tropicana Stadium to take on the number 1 seeded Tampa Bay Rays, who have the best record in the American League. They will be playing Game 1 Thursday on MLB Network and Fox Sports 1. Game 2 will be Friday, and Game 3 will be Sunday at Fenway. Game 4 will be at Fenway if necessary. Game 5 will be back in St. Pete on the 13th, next Wednesday. That's heyday, if necessary. All right, your next playoff series, already decided, is the Chicago White Sox versus the Houston Astros. This is actually a rematch of a World Series that happened in the 21st century, which is a nice fun fact. The White Sox will be playing at the Astros in Minute Maid Park, or the Juice Box, as I like to call it. That is on Thursday on the MLB Network or Fox Sports 1, so you'll be able to watch a doubleheader of Rays, Red Sox, and White Sox Astros. And then Game 2 will be on Friday, and Game 3 will be on Sunday. So an identical schedule to the Red Sox versus Tampa Bay Rays is how the TV crews are breaking down this playoff series. All right, then over on your National League, this best of 5 series is going to be the Atlanta Braves with the 3 seed and the Milwaukee Brewers with the 2 seed. That game is going to be Game 1 in Milwaukee. The Braves will be traveling to take on the Brewers on Friday on TBS. And Game 2 will be on Saturday. And Game 3 will be back in Atlanta on Monday. Game 4 will be in Atlanta as well. That's on Tuesday. And then, if necessary, the Braves will travel back to Milwaukee on the 14th of October. That's Thursday, to play a deciding Game 5. Same schedule for the San Francisco Giants. They will probably be playing later as they are on the West Coast. All of their National League games are on TBS. They will be playing the winner of the Cardinals and Dodgers game, which is going to happen tonight. So we'll talk a little bit about Cardinals-Dodgers right now.
I'm very excited for this game. Do we know who's starting for? Is it Max Scherzer starting for the Dodgers?
Scherzer versus Wainwright.
Awesome.
2 vintage pitchers.
I am ready for the Dodgers to lose. I want it to be an interesting playoff. I don't want the Dodgers to just run back through the playoffs again and win like they did last year, even though you do give them an asterisk for last year.
Yes.
Can you give us a quick rundown on that real quick?
On the asterisk?
Yeah. Besides, was it just the COVID season?
Yeah, it was the playoffs were easy to get into.
Fair.
And then there was Justin Turner having COVID and celebrating with the team, which I'm not personally mad about, but
I forgot about that.
It seems rather suspect.
I just think it's funny to call them that because I don't like them.
That's fair.
I'm not
does anybody really like them?
I'm not like going in to Cooperstown to rip up their trophy, but I like.
Well, it's just a piece of metal. So
yeah,
I mean,
and a grumpy old race car once told me it's just an empty cup. So the Cardinals are a dog in this one. They are 1.5 down on the run line. Money line is 219 in favor of the Dodgers. Apparently, Vegas likes the 106-win wildcard Dodgers to do pretty well in this one. As the Cardinals, I don't think you can ignore how hot they were getting towards the end of the season. They went from a 1.3% chance to make the playoffs to on the cusp of having a 3-game series with the number 1 seeded San Francisco Giants. So, pretty impressive performance by the Cardinals to even get here, and they can sweeten the deal all the more by taking down the greatest wild card team mathematically in the history of baseball. So, we're looking forward to that coming up. That is, of course, on TBS tonight at 7:10 p.m. Central Time. You aren't going to want to miss it. It's a 1-game playoff for a chance to get to the Fall Classic by taking on the San Francisco Giants later on in the week. All right, that's going to do it for this segment. We'll be back in just a little bit to continue the discussion, including Alex has a little out-of-this-world news he has to share with all of everybody. So when we get back, more of that and more of Compact Discourse. I'm Jack Hart, along with Alex and Davis. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Delta variant cases of COVID-19 might be more infectious and more transmissible, but there is something we each can do to limit the spread of coronavirus. Wear a mask. Whether it's homemade or manufactured, embellished or plain, wearing a face mask or covering in public, in addition to social distancing and regular hand washing, is one of the easiest ways to protect yourself and others from coronavirus. According to the CDC, wearing a mask is an important part of a layered prevention approach that not only helps to limit cases of COVID-19 infections in communities where vaccination rates are low, but doing so can also limit the emergence of future COVID-19 variants. By wearing a mask or face covering, especially in crowded indoor spaces or busy areas with limited ventilation or poor air quality, you can do your part to keep yourself, your family, and others around you safe. For more information, visit our website at alabamapublichealth.gov. That's alabamapublichealth.gov.
COVID-19 changed everything, and good information has never been more important. There are jobs available right now. Get the facts about what it takes to get one and how you can take action. Use your time to get prepared for the job you need and the career you want. We'll all get through this with information and resources to be ready for what comes next. Your success story is our success story. Get started at alabamaworks.com.
My community means everything to me. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The training and leadership skills I get from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time in the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
WEGL.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joining alongside Davis and Alex, the host of The Box Office. Through the Lens.
Do you actually not know the name, or is it a bit now? Which is it?
It's a running joke.
It's a running joke that you don't know the name of the show that you've been on multiple times.
Alex, you're taking it too seriously.
I think that makes it funnier. I think
he rectified it. It's all good.
We would like to extend a most sincere appreciation to all of everybody out there in Radio Land listening to us today, however you are tuning in, whether that be sitting in your car, your home, with your terrestrial radio antenna, the old-fashioned way, or tuning in the modern, 2000s way of WEGLFM.com and clicking the play button on that boombox. A couple shout-outs I'd like to give, including Miss Lily, who is listening Shout out to you. Thank you. You made my day yesterday by telling me you enjoyed the show so much. So please continue to do so. It is a WEGL Wednesday, of course. There's plenty to get to on a WEGL Wednesday because this is where the great shows live, right here on WEGL 91.1. Hit to hit, back to back is what we like to say. And tonight is no exception. We have a fantastic schedule tonight, including one more hour with Aaron, Happy Days with Jay, Woodstock Hour, and Cheetah Print all stacked up beginning at 5 p.m. So from 5 to 9, you can get some of the best music in Auburn right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. Once again, we got one more hour starting at 5 all the way until Cheetah Print ending at 9, including DJP and the Woodstock Hour mixed in there as well. Speaking of DJP, he's probably going to crash this party here in a little bit and DJ the station after I get out of here. So stay tuned for that. He's got plenty of classic rock, and he loves to take requests. So if you like that sort of thing, keep that dial right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. All right, let's continue to roll along with the show. Alex?
Can I say something for Alex real quick?
Go ahead, Davis. Yeah.
You were talking about how people listen to the show.
Yes.
Do you think there's anybody that happens to listen to us just because they have like the thing in like the metal in their teeth and they hear us in their head? They think they're going crazy.
like that happened to Lucille Ball.
Did it really?
Yeah, I saw a show about that.
I didn't believe that was real for a long time.
I didn't either. And then my grandma was like, "Oh yeah, it happens all the time." I was like,
"Thanks, Grandma."
Exactly.
I'd like to believe someone has heard us in their head while they're just sleeping or something.
All right, well,
but Alex, you can
think of that before you say anything, that you may be reverberating through somebody's teeth.
That's fair. Alex?
Okay, noted. With that in mind, to the person who's hearing us in their mouth, don't freak out. But NASA will be crashing a spacecraft into an asteroid at 15,000 miles per hour to test Earth's defenses. The space agency's double asteroid redirection test, DART for short, will lift off next month aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket for a mission being likened to the plot of the film Armageddon, a classic.
NASA's all talk.
But the idea is essentially they're seeing what happens if we launch something 15,000 miles per hour at an asteroid, because this is not going to have, nuclear payload or anything, but the simple effects of solid object hitting an asteroid at 15,000 miles per hour. This is one of many tests that I imagine are going to take place over the next couple of years, because, they've clearly got a plan in place. But
do you guys have thoughts on Armageddon?
I love that movie.
Yeah, you shouldn't have asked Alex about that.
No, I'm interested. Because I have thoughts about Armageddon as well.
New Year's Eve, this past year, we decided to watch it, and I love that movie. But the entire time we're at our table, and my grandfather's sitting in front of my dad, and my dad's like trying to look around him just to see the TV, and we're all quoting it to each other. That is like a Houston family tradition, is to watch that movie once a year and just laugh. What do you think about it, Jack?
Are you laughing because you enjoyed the movie, or you think it's silly?
A combo effect.
Okay.
We enjoy it because it is silly. I think it knows what it's doing. Every single thing up until the very end, is just so ridiculous. Steve Buscemi is a genius, but he's also one of the dumbest people on the planet simultaneously as one character. So,
genius.
He's like you, Alex. Do you think it'd be easier to teach a miner how to be an astronaut, or astronaut how to be a miner?
First of all, it's an oil driller.
Oh, sorry. Either way, my point still stands.
What is this, the 1800s?
There's people still mine, Alex.
I know.
It's not a dead industry.
I know. Jack, what do you think of it?
I think it is. I will agree that it knows what it's doing. Obviously, it's a very silly plot, but it makes my brain wheels spin, because it makes me think of what would be practical solutions if Earth would be presented with that problem.
Well, obviously, still send Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I think that's a given. I've heard that there's a couple ways that they've proffered solutions to stopping a incoming asteroid impact, including what NASA's doing right now. Is that if you just hit it with something hard enough to where it diverts its course or alters its course even just a little bit, we're dealing with such a fast speed and giant scale in outer space that even a minor change will have, chaos effect ramifications, such that it's so rare for an asteroid to make contact with a relatively small place like the Earth, that even a minor change would send it, just glancing past.
Indeed.
So I've heard of that one, and I've also heard of there's a strategy called paintballing, where you hit it with enough any white stuff, anything that would be reflect sunlight, to where the added sunlight getting reflected by this asteroid is going to slow it down enough to effectively stop it from its original course.
I think
it's interesting.
I like
thinking
fascinating.
about space.
I would say
Space is awesome.
If you're ever thinking, man, this movie is bad, just watch Deep Impact, which was like part of the big '90s trend of disaster movie about this thing.
Like
There's
Core?
a second one. Yes.
Like
Deep
Sunshine?
Impact. Deep Impact is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I hate that movie. It makes Armageddon look like an Oscar winner. It's terrible. They even one of their tactics is sending nukes at the asteroid that's coming to hit them in Deep Impact, and the movie evidently didn't have room in the budget because Morgan Freeman just comes on the screen and says, "Oh yeah, it didn't work," and it's like, "Oh, I guess it didn't. We don't see it."
Oh, is that the one with Elijah Wood?
Yes,
on the
and
dirt
Taylor
bike?
Leone, and yes, that one does a lot better job of doing the human element of how society would react. But overall, I just think it's significantly.
Yeah, I watched
worse.
that one back when it was on Netflix. I think like early COVID.
Yeah.
Back when I was just watching a movie every night.
If I build up enough goodwill with Davis on the podcast, maybe I'll convince him to do Armageddon and
We
Deep
could do
Impact.
disaster movies.
Disaster movies are too much fun, man.
And
I love them.
Speaking of Through the Lens, I'll throw you the mic for the end of this segment to promote what you guys have going on, not only this week but also this whole month over on your movie podcast.
Yes, it is scary movie season, which means much like last year, we will do 4 episodes this month discussing different scary movies, basically Halloween-themed movies, as we'll be doing the Scooby-Doo movies, not the live action, but the 4 classic cartoon ones from the early 2000s, is the right?
I think it's 90s.
90s,
and
okay, yeah.
2000s.
And this week, though, we are doing Scream 1 and Scream 4 because it is the 25th and 10th anniversaries of those films this year, and those films also are significant parallels to each other. They both, like, the fourth one directly comments on the first one. Not to mention Scream 5 is coming out soon. There'll be a trailer released, I think, on October 10th. So all rather fitting. And then other plans for the month, Davis?
We're going to do some Ari Aster movies,
Yes.
Midsummer and Hereditary. I believe Chris may be coming on for that one. What was our other one?
We could certainly wrap up with the Halloween movies. We haven't done those in a while, and they've just recannoned the entire series. So it's only 4 movies now because they basically said all the other ones don't matter. So that's always an interesting thing to discuss. Plus, I liked the most recent one with where Jamie Lee Curtis had the long hair and she was like crazy. Y'all see that movie?
No.
Oh, it was a good one actually.
Well, keep your ear to the wall for the last episode of this month. We're gonna be fighting about it. See what we're gonna do. Figure out what we're gonna do. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good month of movies. Tune in if you'd like. But yeah, Alan or Jack.
Lovely. I'll be tuning in. I might listen to an episode I'm not on for once.
Whoa.
You weren't on the Spider-Man episode.
Chris was DJing.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I was held hostage.
That counts. I'll count that as 2 listens anyway.
Yeah, there you go. You got to pump those numbers up.
Always.
All right, we are going to head to the 9 o'clock break as it is the top of the hour. So, of course, go get yourself a cup of coffee, as always, and we will be back in about 5 minutes with the second half of the show, including the thrilling conclusion of the Sandwich Cookie Showdown. I don't even know who's coming in the booth for that one, so
Everyone.
Stay tuned. You are not going to want to miss this. It is the thrilling conclusion of the Sandwich Cookie Showdown. If you have something you want to say on the show, you can go ahead and call in at 334-844-9345. We'd love to hear from you. We've got a lot of news to get to on the other side of the break, including, some NBA action as we get very close to tip-off on the NBA season. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with some more Compact Discourse.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Check out my new time machine.
Does it work?
Hit the button.
Hey, it's Napoleon.
Oui. Check out the future.
Hey, you have a nice house. Why don't I?
You didn't save any money, buddy.
If only there was a way I could go back in time and fix that.
Save something for the future. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad.
How can we make Alabama a more beautiful state? By keeping our roads, highways, schools, and communities litter-free. It doesn't take much, but to think before you act. So what does the next generation say?
Pick it up, man. Take pride in your school. Did you just litter? Clean it up, dude.
How can you make a difference? Adopt a mile. Join the Alabama Clean Campus program or join in the Spring Cleanup or Alabama Coastal Cleanup. And remember,
don't drop it on Alabama.
This message by People Against a Littered State, the ABA, ALDOT, and this station.
It's the top of the hour, about 9 a.m., and you're still listening to WEGL 91.1 FM. Well, you made it this far. Go get yourself a cup of coffee. You've earned it.
I really need a cup of joe, and if I don't get one, I think I might blow a gasket, and it's not a pretty sight.
We'll be right back in a few minutes with the second half of the show. Thank you so much for listening to Compact Discourse.
In Alabama, the recycling industry employs nearly 11,000 men and women. Recycling just 10% more would create an additional 1,400 jobs and $66 million in personal income. To learn about recycling opportunities in your area, contact the East Alabama Recycling Partnership. Recycling works in Alabama. Brought to you by the East Alabama Recycling Partnership, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hi, I'm Harrison Smith. You may know me from my work as Scuba, one of the hosts of the hit award-winning show Nerdcore on WEGL 91.1 FM. But what you may not know about me is that I'm a website enthusiast. That's why I'm here to tell you about WeagleFM.com. It's our hotspot on the web with live broadcast articles and more. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. Tune into your favorite shows at any time with a 24/7 online stream right on the homepage. And don't forget to check out the schedule for our station's full selection of music, sports, and talk shows. For the sports fans, there's articles aplenty covering all of the current events in football, basketball, and beyond. For those music fans, WEGL FM has got you covered. We have album and concert reviews and theme playlists for any mood. We even have live musical performances with WEGL sessions. There's more than enough content here to keep you procrastinated when you really should be studying for that test. That's right, we know you've been slacking off. Get back to it, lazy. So, no matter what sound you're looking for, we've got it only on WeagleFM.com. That's WEGLFM.com and Weagle 91.1 FM, Auburn.
1 in 5 people in the U.S. have an STD, and many people have no symptoms. Do you know your status? Alabama residents and students attending Alabama colleges and universities can request a free at-home test for chlamydia, gonorrhea, HIV, and syphilis to be mailed right to your door. Go to adph.mybinks, that's binxhealth.com. Again, it's mybinkshealth.com. The kit is free and confidential. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Public Health, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is FM 91.
WEGL, Auburn.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM as Grayson turned my headphones up too loud. All right, we'll jump right back into the show. Welcome you in. It is 9:04 a.m. on October 6th, 2021. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll, Alex Houston, and the one and only DJP. That's JP Williams, staff member here at WEGL. Basically runs the place. All right, we're going to jump right back into the show for the second half. We've got a lot to get to, including some NBA news, some campus goings-ons, including a wonderful weekend of Auburn athletics, culminating with a Auburn versus Georgia matchup in Jordan-Hare Stadium on Saturday afternoon. And the Sandwich Cookie Showdown, of course, will be happening in the second half of this hour, where we determine the greatest chocolate cream sandwich cookie of all time, definitively, so you don't have to. All right, let's jump right into the show. Mr. DJP, how are you doing this fine Wednesday morning?
I'm doing all right. The weather is not ideal, but I managed to get here, on time. So that's normally kind of a challenge whenever it gets to be around, time for the 9 a.m. classes, because that crosswalk over on West Magnolia gets really packed out. But when a Chick-fil-A, got my breakfast, I've had a single cup of coffee, so I'm going to need a second one here in, the next hour, I'm sure.
Uh-oh.
I'm doing well this
Or
morning.
if I had got my cup of coffee!
He said it.
I said it.
So, we're happy to have you. I'm glad you made it here after all your trials and tribulations, but we're happy to have you here on the show. It's always a fun Wednesday when DJP crashes the party.
Thank you. It is always a pleasure to be here, especially for the Cookie Showdown, the finale. I've been looking forward to this day.
The Cookie Showdown finale will be occurring, so wait it with bated breath as it fast approaches. Alex, Davis, we still doing okay? We ready to talk about Ben Simmons?
Absolutely. Davis?
No comment.
What the?
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, Lord. Something's going on.
I can't tell if that means he's a Ben Simmons fan.
I'm not. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But I will defend Ben Simmons if I have to. I'm not even Ben Simmons
He's
fan.
gonna play devil's advocate.
Uh-oh.
We can
If
talk.
I had a nickel for every time someone said, I'm going to play devil's advocate in debate class, I'd be a wealthy individual.
I'd have 2 nickels.
So we have Ben Simmons drama. We have Urban Meyer drama we can talk about in this segment. Where would we like to go first?
Urban Meyer.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I think I know what this is about. Is this about that thing that got posted to him at that college bar?
Yes.
The college bar named Urban Meyer's Pub or whatever, and it has a picture of him and his wife on the wall. Did you know that?
The news is, oh my gosh.
Truth is stranger than fiction, folks.
I mean, this is terrible. I mean, not to mention the fact that he's already been a bad coach. Now he's going to apologize for distraction. And rumors, according to some reports, say that after he apologized to the team in a team meeting, the team laughed at him as he walked out.
I would too.
He canceled Monday's meeting to then weather the storm of, I was cheating on my wife. Then he also said she was just trying to get me to dance on the dance floor. No, that's not what happened, Urban. I don't want to say.
He was getting a little dance, that's for sure.
I don't want to say what happened.
Did you hear his reason for staying in Ohio originally? He said he wanted to visit his grandkids.
So I heard it was for a birthday party because there was a post of him there for somebody's party, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then even his wife Shelly knew he was there because she tweeted, "I have to babysit while he gets to party," and it was a picture of him in his jacket at that bar. Little did she know what was going to happen later. And then, of course, her basic tweet of a half-eaten corn on the cob has now got 600 replies of people saying, "I'm so sorry." And it's an absurd escalation of events over the past few days is how I would best describe it.
Thank you for bringing this shocking development to my attention. I was unaware of the corn of the cob tweet.
No, like people are treating it like it's some sort of I don't even know what. It's weird. It's weird. The whole thing is bizarre.
It's the
I think it's
smoking
hilarious.
gun.
I think the fact that he's already basically lost the team because he's a bad coach on top of this is funny. Not to mention, how many coaches have survived scandals such as this at the same university?
At the end of the day, how big is this scandal really?
Yeah, how big of a deal is it going to be 2 weeks from now?
I don't think it'd be that big a
Yeah.
deal if the team was not already in shambles.
Yeah.
If the Jags were 4-0 and they didn't trade away their first-round pick from last year, I don't think people would laugh this one off. But
that's what I'm saying is it's piling on more and more.
He has done a lot of stuff.
This is like a flat tire on an already on fire garbage truck.
Exactly. There's been another tweet going around which is every single grievance that they've had with, from making Trevor Lawrence split reps with Gardner Minshew for 4 weeks in the preseason just to then trade Gardner Minshew, and drafting Travis Etienne when you have James Robinson, then immediately saying, man, wish I drafted Kadarius Toney, and Travis Etienne is right there. It's so. But that's how it goes. Is most coaches with scandals are followed by bad seasons. Bobby Petrino's motorcycle thing. Arkansas was not that good in his final year, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, that was at Louisville, and then he went to Arkansas. That's my mistake.
It's hard to keep track of Petrino's.
Petrino's story is my favorite.
Over under 2 months before Urban Meyer comes down with an affliction.
Yeah, I mean,
comes down.
That's what everybody said. Everybody was posting like his when he fell down at the Ohio State sideline with the headache, and he's like when that girl walked up to him at the bar, fell over. But it's
good old Urban.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I think the craziest part of the story is that he was at a bar named after him
with a
picture of his wife on the wall.
I mean, I think the craziest part about the story is that there's that video on there, and he said, "Oh, she was just trying to get me on the dance floor." That's not that Like there's a little thing called open to interpretation. That video is not it. There are some very crude terms used to describe it that I will not say on the air. I'll say it during the break. But
I feel like if you're Urban Meyer, you just have to
say I made a mistake. That's honestly better than saying somebody was trying to get me on the dance floor and I shouldn't have been at the bar. It's like that's not what was happening.
Just be aware of your surroundings. Yeah, that's all.
Just know that there's Urban Meyer.
All right, Urban, we continue to have our eyes on you as we await with bated breath whether or not you will make it an entire season in Jacksonville. After, there was pretty unanimous chatter in the offseason that it was a bad idea for him to go to Jacksonville, and I think it's paying off. Well, it's paying its dividends.
The fact is it's a bad idea from the jump because he's a liar. I mean, he has said that he was never going to coach again multiple times, and then he's returned. Like, this is not some sort of, I've heard this rumor. He said multiple times to Tom Rinaldi in his Ohio State press conference, in his Florida press conference, that he was never going to return to coaching. And then Jacksonville's like, you want some money? And he appears at Jacksonville. Like, it was already bad PR to get a new coaching job after you retire twice. He's not going to probably retire a third time, go to Southern California again. And then it's like, it doesn't like,
not a big Urban Meyer fan, Alex?
No,
I was about to say, man, you got the throat vein going.
Look,
you're on a roll.
I apologize.
I mean, he's not wrong about anything he said. Alex is right about Urban Meyer.
He's the voice of everyone on Twitter right now.
It's partially, I want to say, my dad's fault because my dad has hated Urban Meyer since I could remember watching football, so it's just influenced me in a potential way. But I mean, yeah, all of that combined with how's college going to translate to the NFL? It was already a bad hire, and now it's just getting worse and worse by the minute.
Well, we will now move on to talk about the Thunder from Down Under, Mr. Ben Simmons of the Philadelphia 76ers. But for how long?
Not honestly, could be for a while now because the Sixers are asking for a fortune for a player who's not very good. Everybody keeps posting the video of him passing up a layup with Trae Young in front of him. Trae Young being, of course, a foot shorter than Ben Simmons.
Can't confirm.
And newest report from Kyle Neubeck, who is a Sixers reporter. He says after receiving a big fine for missing last night's preseason game, Simmons will be fined $300,000 for every game he does not show up to.
And the Sixers started a little fund for him. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
They have a
piggy bank?
$8 million, basically a piggy bank. And every time he gets fined, they're going to take money from that. They took the $8 million out of his contract. Every time he shows up to games, they'll give him money from that that little piggy bank.
Interesting.
I think it's how it's going.
That is very odd. But after receiving that big fine, sources from Kyle Neubeck say that Ben Simmons' representation, which is Clutch Sports and Rich Paul, spoke to the Players Association and had it reiterated that money could not be recovered, a potential sign that the weight of a holdout is setting in. So what it appears is that Ben Simmons was under the assumption that if you're fined for money, you can just get it back, which would have been advice from Rich Paul, his agent, who's already being sued once by Nerlens Noel for losing out $58 million. So it appears Clutch Sports and Rich Paul could be in trouble because that is incorrect advice you're giving to your player because anybody, I think, if you just read the CBA, could have found out that you can't get money back for being fined. That's never been a thing in any sport, as far as I'm concerned. But now it appears that Simmons did not know that or the representation for Simmons didn't know that either. So that could certainly affect it. I don't know how because, again, the Sixers want valid compensation. And I don't know if Simmons can return to Philadelphia. Philly fans have booed Santa Claus. They likely will boo him out of the arena no matter what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what
That's
the
biggest
solution
reason
is.
he doesn't want to come back is what he said.
Apparently he's put his Center City, Philadelphia condo up for sale as of today.
Oh, yeah, at the Ritz-Carlton. That's correct. That also just came out as well. But again, that doesn't expedite the nobody wants him because the fact is the only team that can trade for Ben Simmons is a team that can build their entire roster around him because he requires that. Not because he's LeBron James and it works, but because he doesn't have a skill set to do anything else.
I mean,
Yeah,
he can't shoot. Every offseason, he acts like he's starting to learn how, and then every season he never does.
And then he passes up a layup with Trae Young in the paint.
That's like the RDC World video. Shoot
Wasn't
the ball.
He one of the top people with the all defense last year?
Yes.
He's a great defender. He just cannot score any way other than driving.
He's an excellent player in a lot of ways, passing the basketball, rebounding, especially on defense. But the fact is, he refuses to adapt his offensive skill set. He's done the same thing for 5 years, which is just not. It's not what you can do in the NBA. You cannot come in a rookie and be the exact same player 4 years down the line. I mean, even Giannis, for example, came in with even less of a skill set than Ben Simmons, and now he's shooting threes in the NBA Finals, and deservedly so, won the MVP for it. Ben Simmons is the opposite. Nothing. So,
I remember when it was his rookie year, Colin Cowherd posted on a thing, he was like top 5 NBA players, and he put him at 5th.
That was bad.
I did not like Ben Simmons his rookie year. I still don't really like him now. I think he maybe gets a little too much hate, but I still think he's not the player that a lot of people thought he was.
The fact is, he's even regressed, to be honest. His offensive skill set has gotten worse in terms of production scoring-wise. He doesn't even have a post game. He doesn't adapt to that. It just doesn't. And specifically, it was never going to work in Philly because you have Joel Embiid, who's one of the best centers in the league. So it's just a whole mess. I don't know who will take him, though.
All right, pack your bags, Ben. It's going to be a long offseason for the NBA. All right, lots to get to here still on Compact Discourse, including the thrilling conclusion of the Sandwich Cookie Showdown. All that and more is coming up later on in the show. We've got plenty of great shows on WEGL for you today, including one more hour, the Woodstock Hour, Cheetah Print, and more. So stay tuned for a preview of that, as well as a preview of Tip-Off at Tumors, the #1 basketball preseason event going on tomorrow at Tumors Corner, of course. All right, we'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more of the show. Thank you to DJP, Alex, and Davis for joining me on the show. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more Compact Discourse.
These are the moments you remember.
The kick is good! Auburn wins!
These are the sounds you celebrate.
Fastball driven. Deep left center field. David Ross, you have company.
Whether it's the stadium, the arena, or the ballpark.
Auburn 75. Kentucky 70. I think I'll storm the court. There goes Davis. Oh my God.
Your home for Auburn sports is the Auburn Sports Network.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green.
Make it green. Green, green, make it green. It's your home, it's your dream. It's your dream.
Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
I want that wall-crawling arachnid prosecuted. I want him strung up by his web. I want WEGL Auburn.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse, right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, WEGLFM.com, Transistor.fm, Eagle Eye TV, plenty of places you can be listening to us, and we thank you for doing so here on this lovely overcast Wednesday morning. Lots to get to here today on the show. We've been talking sports. We've been talking playoff baseball. We've been talking a whole lot of things. We got a whole cavalcade of people joining us. People are filling in. We're running out of room in the studio as people flooding in as the excitement is spreading about the thrilling conclusion of the Sandwich Cookie Showdown, which will be transpiring in just about 10 minutes. So stay tuned for that one. After one more break, we'll be getting to that. But I am welcoming in, of course, Mr. DJP to the show. Welcome back.
Hello.
Great to have you here.
Hello.
Alex Houston, co-sports director.
Oh, hi.
Hello, yes. And then we got Davis on mic 4. Hello. And we're going to try, for the first time ever, the roving microphone.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Aaron. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
And we've got also Mr. Music Director Will Root. Welcome.
What's up?
Welcome.
The levels over there actually, we're picking something up. We're picking something up over there.
Yeah, I got some bars.
Nice,
I got some bars over here.
nice.
All right, so welcome to the show. We are going to jump right in with Mr. DJP, Music Director. What's new on WEGL? What's hot? What is WEGL up to? And what can everyone expect in the coming weeks from, Auburn's only student-run radio station?
So we are still filling out the local music block. We are getting closer and closer to go ahead and implementing that one in there. Got some new music, or not even new music. We're going to have music from the Talisman, hopefully here by the end of the day. WEGL Wednesday. So since it's like the eve of fall break, I know a lot of students don't really want to do their shows today. I mean, I'm not even doing any of my shows. I recorded over the weekend. Sorry for anyone who wanted to listen to Woodstock tonight or listen to the morning show, the 10 to 12.
Okay.
I'm going to be in here.
I got to issue some redactions.
Jack's been hyping
Sorry.
it up all show.
I apologize. I mean, I'm going to be in the studio probably working on homework, but I'm not really going to be speaking
All right.
into the microphone.
Tune in to 91.1 to hear some pencil scratching.
Yes.
He's got a test to study for.
Okay. Understood.
I need to study.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and study.
Guess they
All right.
We understand.
I'm getting my backpack out. You want to hear the unzip into the microphone? If I can even get the zipper. There we go. We'll get the computer out.
There you
get
go.
the notebook out.
All right, so we are looking forward to that on WEGL. Plenty of new local music and more excitement to come.
I don't even know what's so funny right now.
I need to get my mic up just so I can start laughing into it.
Yeah, get some good crowd mic action. All right, so we are, very excited here at WEGL. Big things are coming, and JP's leading the charge. Is that right?
Dude, I guess. I don't know.
All right. I will reiterate that it is a big weekend of Auburn athletics, including tomorrow night. We are kicking off with tip-off at Toomer's. That is going to be tomorrow evening at Toomer's Corner. The Auburn basketball team and ladies basketball team will be having a little preseason event to kick off the official start of the Auburn basketball season. First game is in November, so we're getting hyped for that. Coach Pearl, Coach Harris, Coach Harson, all of your favorite people from Auburn Athletics are going to be there. That event technically starts at 4 p.m., as early as 4 p.m. if you would like to start making your way over to Toomer's Corner tomorrow afternoon. This is a rain or shine event, so even if it's a little overcast, a little bit rainy, there will be something for you to see on Toomer's Corner. Probably not a dunk contest for the safety of our beloved Auburn basketball players, but something exciting will transpire. I can guarantee you that. It is, of course, going to be a chance to meet the 2021 to 22 basketball teams. There will be a skills contest, dunk contest, and more. Admission is 100% free, but it is first come, first serve, and standing room only. So if you were at this event 2 years ago, you know that it's just barricades preventing you from being on Toomer's Corner itself. So come early as you feel is required and make your way up to the barricades. First couple thousand fans there will receive free T-shirts and shakers. So if you're in the market for some linens or plastics, you can come on over to Toomer's Corner to get your T-shirt or shaker. And that is, once again, that I think it properly tips off at 7 p.m., but I think if you show up at 7 p.m., you might need someone's shoulders to sit on to get a good view. So arrive as early as you feel necessary and make yourself at home at Toomer's Corner as we get the Auburn basketball season kicked off, or tipped off, if you will. You like that? All right. Friday, 10-8, 3 p.m. We have equestrian. Number 1 in the land, our horse girls are going to be taking on Georgia's number 2 in the land horse. This is a revenge game or meet. What do horses do?
I don't know, dude.
I've assumed it's been called a meet, but I've never been to one, so I've never. Event. Aaron says event.
This is a revenge event for the Lady Tigers of our equestrian team taking on number 2 Georgia, who broke our national championship streak last year. So we are looking for revenge against the Georgia Bulldogs. And there will be a T-shirt giveaway at this one as well. So two T-shirts in 2 days if you feel so inclined. You can head on over to the Equestrian Center, which is across the street from the Large Animal Teaching Hospital, which is out on Wire Road by the vet school. And you can take the Tiger Transit there. It is as easy as that. So that is 3 p.m. on Friday, 10/8. All right, moving right along. Of course, the main event between the real hedges, it is game day against the University of Georgia, lowercase g, Bulldogs. It's going to be 2:30 p.m., Auburn, Alabama, Jordan-Hare Stadium. You know the drill. It is a big game. The number 2 in the land, Georgia Bulldogs, are coming to town to take on the number 18 Auburn Tigers, looking to go 2-0 in conference play. Last time a top-ranked Georgia team came to the Plains, we beat them pretty soundly in a big upset, so we'll look for a repeat performance this weekend. At 10:30 a.m., the Coke Fan Fest and home plate tailgate opens next to Plainsman Park. Gates will open at 12:30 p.m. That's when you can experience Tiger Walk. 2:10 p.m. is when the Eagle is going to fly and the marching band is going to do their thing. And 2:30 p.m. is when we kick off. We are on CBS this weekend, the biggest SEC game of the week. And then on Sunday, you have the women's soccer game. It is versus LSU. Number 22 is our women's soccer team. You can listen to that game on WEGL 91.1 FM. And if you don't want to listen to it, you can go and watch it yourself at the Auburn Soccer Complex across from the Auburn Athletics Complex over on Heisman Road, and that is at 2 p.m. on Sunday, October 10th. That's 10/10. Big weekend of Auburn athletics. I hope everyone is excited for.
I actually have something to say about the soccer game on Sunday.
Oh, what's up, Will?
So I actually know I have a friend from high school who plays on LSU's soccer team, and I talked to her about the game on I guess Saturday when we were in Baton Rouge, and she said she thinks they're going to lose. So the LSU team thinks they're going to lose the game firsthand. So War Eagle to that.
War Eagle to that, indeed. All right, yes. And if you want to listen to the LSU soccer team lose, I do want to remind you once again, right here, how you're listening to this, WEGL 91.1 FM. We will have our dedicated and hardworking sports team on the call for that one to provide you all. We'll paint a mental picture for you in our audio-only broadcast. All right, I think we're going to head to a quick break and get to what everyone is here waiting for. The Sandwich Cookie Showdown will commence on the other side of this break. It is the final matchup between the Oreos of Nabisco and the Kaleidos of Kroger. It's a pretty big matchup. You aren't going to want to miss it. Stay tuned, WEGLFM.com. And if you want to see the cookies firsthand, you can watch our YouTube live stream at WEGL 91.1 on YouTube. Look for that orange and blue Eagle logo and check us out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with the thrilling conclusion of the Sandwich Cookie Showdown. I'm Jack Hart, joined alongside a whole mess of people here in the studio. We'll be right back.
Your career isn't a job, it's a journey. Your next job could lead to bigger things, and you're in charge of how fast and how far you want to go. At alabamaworks.com, you can connect with employers and start working right now. Then chart your path forward with training and career planning tools. But it's only the beginning. Start a great success story at alabamaworks.com.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life and in every corner of America, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. The Army National Guard reacts to domestic operations in each of America's 54 states and territories, including Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and the District of Columbia. Each state National Guard's unique domestic role is to act as the first line of defense in support of civil authorities in their state. The Guard's emergency responses include service
search and rescue missions for floods, combating wildfires, hurricane and tornado recovery, and the presidential inauguration. The Army National Guard. We are always ready. We are always there. And in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
COVID-19 changed everything, and good information has never been more important. There are jobs available right now. Get the facts about what it takes to get one and how you can take action. Use your time to get prepared for the job you need and the career you want. We'll all get through this with information and resources to be ready for what comes next. Your success story is our success story. Get started at alabamaworks.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is FM 91.
WEGL Auburn.
Switch.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside DJP, Mr. Alex Houston, Davis Carroll, Will Root, Aaron's in here, and we got Grayson Moyer as well. I'm just giving you a hard time, Aaron. Thank you for making your debut on Compact Discourse. We love that everybody's here in the booth with us. You can see our beautiful faces on the YouTube live stream as well. And we are getting to the Sandwich Cookie Showdown right now. If you want to go on the WEGL Twitter page, you can see a lovely retweet from the Compact Discourse Twitter page. And, all right, I was going to let everybody know your mic's hot now. Great. So, yeah, the at CDiscAU, you can see the full documentation of what has gone down so far on the Sandwich Cookie Showdown. 8 cookies have entered, 2 cookies remain, and it is now the final matchup between Oreos and Kaleidos. But how do we get here? Of course, the top-seeded Oreos defeated in a blowout fashion the Glutinos gluten-free cookies back last week, as well as a thrilling upset as the Chocolate Cream Panda Witches took down the Great Value Twist and Shouts in a shocking upset. We also had the Chocolate Cream Lil Dutch Made cookies get blown out of the water by assorted sandwich cream cookies, also from Walmart. And then you also had the thrilling matchup between the Kaleidos, who have also made it to the final, and the SE Grocers chocolate sandwich creams. They were defeated by the vote of 3-1. And yesterday we had the final 4, where much debate was had regarding the assorted sandwich cream cookies, which only Chris enjoyed more than Kroger Kaleidos. They were much crunchier. They were much butterier, and you know what? If that's your cup of tea, go get some assorted sandwich cream cookies. But I think all of us sandwich cookie purists here enjoyed the Kaleidos a great deal more. And then on the western side of the bracket, it was the presumptive heir to the throne, Oreos, taking down 5-1 the chocolate cream Panda Witches. Only Daniel Locke was the deciding vote in that one. He was the only objection to that one, as Oreos won that matchup 5-1. Chocolate cream, they tasted a little too much like Snickerdoodles for me. The vanilla was too overwhelming. So, does anyone like to present any opening statements regarding this matchup between Oreos of Nabisco and Kaleidos of the Kroger brand?
I'm liking the design on the Kaleidos more than the basic Oreo, though I know Oreo does step up their game significantly for the special Oreo brand. Like Halloween Oreos, always very fun.
The Pokemon Oreos.
They had Game of Thrones ones too, really cool.
Come on,
they made Supreme Oreos.
They did.
They did.
Oreos everywhere. They're sold out everywhere.
I saw
Wait,
which one? Pokemon Oreos.
Oh, I didn't even know they had those actually.
They're like collector's editions now.
That's
like,
cool.
They're sold out everywhere.
That's cool.
Pokemon
But yeah,
fans will collect.
as far as basic design goes, I like the Kaleido, though it is smaller, as JP said during the break. It is, at least mine is a bit smaller. So
I'm enjoying the typography on the Kaleido. I'm enjoying the typography on the Kaleido.
That's been a big. Everyone's been enjoying the Kaleido. It's setting them apart from everyone else.
It has little holes in it.
It
too.
says "Dip 'em, love 'em," which is a suspect but enjoyable phrase to have on your cookie.
It's creative.
What do you mean? That's creative.
What do you do with the sandwich cookie?
Dip them,
You
love
dip
them.
You dip them and you love them.
Have you ever done the fork technique
Yes,
though?
very efficient.
Yeah,
I've never done. Okay, like what's the hype around that?
Well, so you stick the fork in the Oreo in between the cream, and then it's a way you can dunk the entire Oreo without getting milk on your fingers.
It's awesome.
It's excellent.
I still think the ultimate test with all of these is to just eat the cookie like an adult and just put it in your mouth. If it can't stand up to that, then it's not worth.
I wasn't advocating that the fork technique
bring
needed
up
to
the
be
fork
used.
technique.
That's not what I said.
No, he was just talking about it in general,
I just
Grayson.
asked if it was a possibility.
If
Grayson,
I'm defending Alex, that means
Grayson,
you're
there's
in the
no
wrong
need
here,
to be
Grayson.
mean today. Wow. Somebody didn't have their cup of coffee this morning. My goodness.
Play the sound.
Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing.
Yeah, okay. Grayson did not have his cup of coffee, apparently. And as I said yesterday, these will be based on the merit of just the sandwich cookie. You don't peel apart your sandwich and lick off the mayonnaise, so we're not going to peel apart the cookie and lick off the cream. So just eat it like a sandwich, eat it like a cookie, and that's what we're going to base the dent of this on. Would anyone like to do the honors and take the first bite?
Do we all start with one first? Should we all eat Oreo
well,
first? Or?
We need to stagger so we don't get
I need my cup
hot
of
chewing
water
noises
so I can,
into the
so
mic.
I can clear my palate after eating this.
All right, be my guest. Go ahead, cookie eaters. Take your bite.
We're leaving no cookie unturned.
WEGL ASMR. Kaleido first. Yeah. Hey, Davis, can you do me a favor over there? Hand me my bottle of water.
Yeah.
So I can clear my palate.
Everyone seems to be enjoying their cookies so far. Everyone's taking a bite of the Kaleidos first.
I'm loving them.
Kaleidos, indeed. Kaleidos, the up-and-coming surprise cookie out of the bracket. They are the only other cookie to have the royal blue packaging. They blink and you'll miss it. You can mistake them from an Oreo very easily, which is kind of what they're going. They're imitating the Oreo taste very well, I believe, is what the consensus has been so far. They've won 2 matchups so far. We'll see how they fare in this one.
Yeah, if you give me that in a blind taste test, I would think it was an Oreo.
High praise
I
from
was
the root
advocating
man.
for a blind taste
The
test, but it'd be
Pepsi
too
challenge.
complicated.
I don't think it'd be too complicated.
It's too late now.
We'd need a production director, and that's something that's
I'd
not
get
in the budget.
confused and I'd end up eating 2 Oreos or something. They taste the same. They taste the same. Oh wow, Aaron just
Going on the Oreo now?
No.
Oh, Aaron just did.
Oh.
I just
Hold
did
on,
it.
eager beaver. We're gonna have a post-game analysis of the Kaleidos performance.
Jack, you can go and bite yours if you want someone to take over while you talk.
Thank you.
JP, I see you cleanse your palate over there. What were your thoughts on the Kaleido? Is that your first time having a Kaleido?
Dude, that thing was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was really tasty.
Any you want to give us a quick analysis of what you thought overall? Similarities to Oreo, any dissimilarities?
I like what Will said about if you would have put a blindfold on me, I would have thought it was an Oreo. And I said Pepsi challenge a second ago. That thing definitely, it's valid. I'd say it might be the Coca-Cola. I think it might be the Oreo.
You got a valid from JP.
I don't know. The one sort of difference I saw was it felt a bit like, well, I don't not chewier necessarily, but it broke up more like a crummy type thing versus the Oreo, which seems to stay very solid to me. I don't know. That's at least my experience when I've had Oreos in the past. We're about to have one, so I'll do the test yet again. But I liked it. It more chocolatey, I would say. I noticed more chocolate when I was eating it.
I'd also say the chocolate was very, very prominent.
Yes.
Chocolate flavor is very good, and
I like the chocolate.
people take that for granted. We've had plenty of cookies where the chocolate flavor seemed to kind of be an afterthought. So
That's unfortunate.
It's nice to have the chocolate be front and foremost the focus of this cookie. All right, everyone has had and enjoyed their Kaleido.
Yes. Do Will or Grayson want to say anything about it?
I'd like to point out that I think the Kaleido has a little bit more cream on there. I would say I put them side by side, and the Kaleido is a little bit taller. A little bit, maybe by a millimeter.
Aaron says hers isn't, so maybe they don't have
no standardization in the Kaleido.
I found it's difficult to even get standard in the Oreos.
Oreo rarely does either, but I guess they're kind of more standard than the Kaleido since it's from Kroger.
Oreo has
Where do
to
you
be
think
more
they make
standard
those?
because they make the double stuff.
In the back of the Kroger, they're just putting the cream on the Kaleido.
In the back of the Oreo factory is where they make the Kaleidos.
You know, I will agree again that the cream is the highlight of the Kaleido right now. There were a lot of cream criticisms yesterday. People were calling it calling it grainy and weird. But no, I think that is really the standout thing, along with how chocolatey the cookie
There was
is.
a lot of
The chocolate was so
I am-
prominent for me.
I am right now still Team Kaleido. This Oreo could change me. This morning might be different than yesterday, but I think it's a very strong competitor.
There was a lot of crunch discourse and a lot of cream discourse yesterday, and I think we made the right decision. But there was a great deal of trials and tribulations to determine winners yesterday.
I will have to say this is the first thing I've eaten all day. So
Likewise.
This is my breakfast.
All right.
All right.
I will now open the floor to opening statements regarding Oreos. If you have any childhood anecdotes or comments about the pattern on the cookie, now would be your time.
I will say I'm a big Oreo fan myself, but like even the traditional Oreo is like 10th on the list for me because all their specialty ones are so good. The Halloween Oreos, in my opinion, taste better than regular. I will fight anybody on that. It's the reality of the situation.
The orange dye.
Like yes, it is. It is.
Ew, I hate the mint one.
So I feel like that is gonna make my opinion a bit, altered just because I'm thinking, okay, well this is a good Oreo, but it's not the best Oreo.
We'll have to find Kaleido's Halloween for Alex.
Yeah.
Ain't no way they have them, but we'll look.
I was gonna say, does Kaleidos have any specialty
I
cookies?
doubt it.
They
don't need
have
it.
double stuff.
They're good enough that they don't.
They
need
at
these
least have double
specialties.
stuff.
They have double stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I like Oreos mega stuff. That's how you know.
I thought it was just the most stuff. I thought that's what they said.
I think there's 4 degrees of stuffness.
That's a lot of stuff.
Y'all ever notice that double stuff only has one F in it?
It's because you can't trademark a basic term, so you can't trademark stuff.
I never realized that.
Double
Yeah, we researched it like a year ago. I was like, all right, guys, wait a minute. What's happening?
Hold on. We got to get to the bottom of this double stuff situation.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I think it's about time to take a bite of your cookie.
All right.
Be my guest.
I think I will.
I already did and I like it better, I'll say.
I mean, you can have more than one if you feel so inclined. If you need that to make the comparison, I will allow the bite of a second cookie. The Oreo, I think it's a little bit lighter, maybe less dense. I feel like it would float where the Kaleido would sink, but I'm not going to hold that against it. It's not a buoyancy test. It's a taste test.
The cream's definitely sweeter than the Kaleido. I don't necessarily count that in its favor, but it is the thing I noticed first. The ratio from cream to chocolate is a lot heavier in favor of cream on the Oreo compared to the Kaleido.
Completely agree. That was the first thing that hit me was like I was expecting the chocolate because I had the Kaleido and it wasn't there as much, and I think that's a difference maker for me.
The crunch is different than the Kaleido. The Kaleido's a little bit like a harder crunch, and Alex was saying how it breaks apart differently. But I think I kind of I prefer the break apart of the Kaleido.
I agree. Actually, yeah. I was waiting to test because I hadn't had an Oreo in a while. I wanted to see how it crunched differently, which I prefer. But I agree with that.
I love Oreos. I'll say my closing statements. I'll let y'all say some stuff first.
I'm not gonna lie. I shouldn't have doubted the Oreo, man. I forgot how good these things really are.
It's banging. Don't forget it.
I love that Kaleido, but this thing, it's like not leaving a mess. The other one was too brittle and left a little bit of a mess. The cream is more dense, and like how Grayson was saying, it was sweeter, so it's really holding all the crumbs together in one place. But that could be a matter of like which one was bought first. Like, did you buy all these cookies on the same day?
I did, but I don't think they were all manufactured on the same day.
It's also worth noting these are some of the only ones that actually came both in a sealed package.
Kaleido's
a lot of these have been just sitting open in my office for a week, and these have not.
Kaleido's
These
has the best
and the Kaleidos
resealability.
or just the Oreos?
They're sealed. The Oreos and the Kaleidos.
You reading the literature over there, Aaron?
The Best Buy date to see.
Oh,
okay.
I see, okay.
All right. Kaleidos are Best Buy February 22nd, 22, and Oreos are January 23rd, 22.
Oh, could be the difference
Interesting.
maker.
Shelf life edge to Kaleidos.
And again, go ahead.
Oreo's resealability is very. I don't like it because it'll crease up and then there will be just like little pockets of air going in.
Yeah, resealing Oreos. That's the one
It's
thing with the
difficult.
Oreos. Is if you open it up, you
battle.
might as well eat the whole thing
Yeah.
because there's no point, right? Like, might as well just start knocking them back because there's.
Oh, I do. Trust me. Anything else? Because I have a big statement here.
Which of these two do you think has more knockback ability?
Oreo.
Jack, maybe back me up on this. We may wait for the final vote until the last segment of the show.
Yeah, we're gonna continue our
So let's
deliberation
deliberate.
over the break, but I think everyone needs to get their ideas out there so the
Right.
people at home can get where we're coming from.
So knockback ability is an important factor of how
True.
many you can eat in a row.
True.
Do you think you could eat more Kaleidos or more Oreos? Because I feel like I would run out of steam on Oreos pretty fast.
I'd run out of
we'll do
steam
that
at
next week.
Kaleidos because I can eat
I
a whole
disagree.
sleeve of Oreos.
I feel like the very like powerfulness of the chocolate makes it like people eat less dark chocolate than they do eat milk chocolate. It's like so I think it's the same thing where
Yeah.
like the cream and just the sweetness, it's easier just to that for me, like it's the opposite. Where I would say the sweetness of the Oreo makes it easier to eat more compared to the Kaleido, which has a more dark chocolate-esque
The
taste.
thing is, when I eat a ton of Oreos, I'm usually eating them with milk, which kind of dulls the flavor a little bit. So that might affect how many I can eat in one sitting.
The Oreo
Sorry,
is
Grayson,
a
it's
little
good.
bit lighter than the Kaleido, I would say. So I think that I could
Yes.
eat a lot more Oreos.
Well,
I
there's-
mean, there are times where I've eaten an entire sleeve of Oreos and just looked down and it's just gone.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's a factor. But like, I mean, you could apply it to a lot of foods. That doesn't make one food better than another. Like, it's probably more difficult to eat a steak compared to like a sandwich.
Well,
but
no doubt. It was just on topic,
What
so
about
it's a
steak
good conversation to have.
the Arby's has one. Yes,
Dude, I
very
could
good.
eat a whole box of Oreos after that.
I-
I have not
I'm-
eaten an Oreo in so long.
I'm
and that
definitely
was-
going to get
that
some
was
Halloween
delicious.
Oreos like right after school today. Like it's happening.
I will say there was like just objectively cookie wise, Kaleido's more like stereotypical cookie, and Oreo kind of has like a little taste in there that's like unique to Oreos to me. It's hard to explain, but like once you kind of taste it, you can recognize it. It's not like metally, but that's the best way I can. It's not, but that's the only way I can really describe it to get across. To
I
y'all.
get where you're coming from.
I will say one thing: Kaleidos
It's
break
very
up
good,
like
though.
I've noticed this like all cookies that are like this or like Oreo like that are off-brand Oreo that are not the name brand. They break up pretty much a similar way, but like Oreos have a unique just feel when you're chewing them. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's just a meat thing.
Good
but
mouthfeel.
melts in your mouth. It's awesome.
That's the Oreos are pretty great.
All right, much to deliberate still, so stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion of the Sandwich Cookie Showdown when all is revealed in the final hour of this week finale of Compact Discourse. Plenty to get to, including the final verdict on the greatest sandwich cookie chocolate of all time. All that and more in about 2 minutes on Compact Discourse. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
If you've been working, you've already proven yourself in ways you may not even notice. Managing your time, communicating effectively, and working as part of a team are key skills that employers value. At alabamaworks.com, you can find out how to build on your experience to up your game and get the job you really want because it's out there. Start your new success story at alabamaworks.com.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future, and I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Watch out for people riding bikes. It's not just courteous. Now it's the law. The new 3 Feet for Safety Act requires that drivers give at least 3 feet of space when passing bicyclists. More and more people are commuting and touring Alabama on bicycles. As the number of cyclists on our roads increases, so does the need for safe driving. So slow down and give cyclists 3 feet of room. Follow the rules of the road and watch out for each other. Learn more at drivesafealabama.org. Sponsored by ALDOT, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is FM 91.
WEGL Auburn.
Oh, I have learned my lesson. I'm not wearing pants today.
Switch.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, WeagleFM.com, or we hope you're watching on our YouTube live stream. That's WEGL 91.1 on YouTube. Look for that orange and blue eagle logo and check us out there where you can watch and not only listen to, but also watch the thrilling conclusion of the Sandwich Cookie Showdown. Final segment here today, final segment of the week, as we hope you all have a wonderful and dry fall break, and we hope you are looking forward to this exciting weekend of Auburn athletics kicking off with tip-off at Toomer's coming right up tomorrow evening. So I'll be there. I hope to see you there, and go out and support the Tigers tonight, or tomorrow night, if you feel so inclined. All right, it's time to make a verdict.
Call it.
We're going to have to call it between Oreos and Kaleidos. Mics are coming on now, so save your
Try not to jump the gun.
colorful comments about these cookies.
You have to call it.
All right. Welcome in to my panel of judges here. I've got DJP. I've got station manager Grayson Moyer.
I mean, I can. I'll make my thesis and then my supporting arguments.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Aaron's haunting the studio.
Yeah, the ghost of Aaron Folk is going to weigh in as well. We also have music director Will Root and Davis Carroll, a esteemed panel of judges to judge the final cookie. You may be noticing there's an even number here. What happens if it goes 3-3? Don't
We'll
worry.
call up Alex.
I have a deciding vote from Alex if push comes to shove.
Yes. So what direction are we going to go in to start off the vote?
I think as Mike 2, you're the presumptive first person to vote. It only makes sense.
I mean, without a question, I'm gonna have to go with the Oreo. That thing was busting. Respectfully.
Look, I'll be honest. I've been beating this drum since I had one for the first time yesterday. The Kaleido is a better overall cookie. The chocolate to cream ratio, it holds up better. It's just a well-rounded cookie. Oreo is only good in the context of its variants, and Kaleido stands all on its own. My vote is Kaleido.
The vote is tied. It's a dead heat. 1 for Oreo, 1 for Kaleido. Davis, you have the chance to give the tiebreaker to one cookie for now.
So the thing is, I will say that I agree with Grayson that as a cookie, just like thinking of a cookie, I'd say that Kaleido kind of has the more cookie taste, but I think Oreo is just better. I think I might. Oreo is one of my favorite cookies. I love it, and the taste that it has is so distinct to me. And I'm not taking it into dunkability. Don't worry, Grayson. But I'll just say that the taste itself is so distinct. I'm going to have to give it to Oreo. But Kaleido put up a really good fight for me. It was very close.
The tally moves to Oreos 2, Kaleidos 1. Aaron.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Oreo just has a distinct taste that, can't be beat. The Kaleido's too bitter. I don't know. I'm more of a milk chocolate person, and I just couldn't eat, I don't think, more than one of these. But I could definitely put away a sleeve of Oreos. And the cream, I know we weren't doing it based off the cream, but Oreo's cream it's better. It's
I
sweeter.
think Kaleidos is better.
It's a package
We
deal.
tried over the break, and I will say Kaleidos is better to me.
See, that's
it doesn't like melt. I wasn't a big fan of it melting so quickly, just by itself.
All right.
Interesting take.
The tally now sits at 3-1. It's been done before, but it's hard to come back from a 3-1 deficit. Will?
So I really badly wanted to see something crazy today, and that happened. But I think, as we've all know too well,
We're debating on.
yeah, we're
Keep going, Will.
yeah. So as we all know too well, when you're watching like an Alabama game, you really want Alabama to lose. So in this case, the Alabama's the Oreo. So I'd like to say, I don't know, the big bad Oreo. They got off to a rough start. I tried the Kaleido. They got out. They scored a touchdown first. Maybe they went up by 2 scores. And then I got the Oreo in my hand, and they came back, and I think they took this one with ease. Honestly, I'd like to say, who was it said it was too bitter? Aaron, did you say that? Yeah, I had my second Kaleido a second ago. It's just a little bit too bitter. The Oreo just has a nice sweet flavor. I'm gonna have to put it with the Oreos, so I guess we'll have to give that one to the Giant. They're gonna have to take it away.
And with that, the insurmountable lead has been established as Oreo climbs to 4 votes. I'm going to, in a futile effort, cast my vote for Kaleidos based on texture. I'm not a cookie connoisseur. This whole challenge is outside of my purview. It was inspired by a terrible cookie I had, and I wanted to rectify it. And I think I've had 8 pretty good cookies over the course of the past 2 weeks. I wouldn't be sad if any of these cookies were put in front of me. But I think it comes down to texture between the Oreo and the Kaleido for me. I just enjoy the breakup of the Kaleido, as it were. I might be purchasing them again in the future. Although Twist and Shouts do hold a special place in my heart as the first store brand Oreo I ever
That's what started
consumed.
it all.
I wanted to try the panda ones. Do we still have those?
Yeah, they're in my office.
All right. Well, maybe we'll just eat them all after the show today.
Well, I really enjoyed this. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait for like 10 years from now, whenever I see some off-brand Oreos.
You'll never forget.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna remember sitting in this room debating this.
And you can say empirically, we tested and Kaleidos are the best one. If someone's like, I think Twist and Shouts or this Piggly Wiggly Oreo's the best, you'd be like,
You know how you talk to your friends.
We have evidence of quantitative and qualitative.
Yeah.
I will posit that Alex is a Kaleido supporter as well.
Come down to the wire.
A hotly contested
7-game
4-3 victory. Game 7 was decided by Oreos.
Buzzer beater.
Thank you for that excellent insight, Will. I think you were what pushed Oreos over the top, though. So
we need to get a graphic of Kyrie hitting the 3 over Steph
Yeah.
Curry with
He's
a,
shooting-
like
he's shooting
an
Oreo.
Yeah.
We'll get in the lab after the show and see how we need to pitch this to the media.
Yeah. I think it's worth noting that these are both good cookies. It's just about your overall flavor preference.
Yeah.
Like Aaron, you and Will both mentioned bitterness in the Kaleido. Like, I don't speak for y'all. Me and Jack are black coffee people. I don't know about Alex.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just that overall preference. If you prefer sweet stuff or more savory stuff, that's how you choose between Kaleido and Oreo.
I feel like the Kaleidos would be nice with like a cup of Joe.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee, but
I did have the remnants of my cookies yesterday with my morning coffee, and I must say it was a very pleasurable experience.
Interesting.
Glad to hear.
So that's the man's version. The children's drinking with milk, the man's drinking with coffee.
This is a separate thing. My point about that milk is for kids, like that's not relevant.
Milk
to
makes
this.
your bones strong, Grayson.
Oh,
I hope
take
you
a
don't.
vitamin.
I hope you don't run into a wall. You might break your leg.
I just think milk is disgusting in itself.
Yeah, I'm turning up the reverb for that one. Say it again.
Everybody, milk is disgusting. It is for babies.
Can I say something on that?
Hey, no animal in the world drinks milk after it is matured. I'd like to put that out there right now.
Absolutely correct.
I agree. Why do you want to drink something that's meant to
No
turn
other-
a calf into an 800-pound bovine?
Because it makes my bones
No
strong,
other animal
Aaron.
built the space shuttle,
That's
Will.
propaganda by Big Milk.
It tastes
Yeah.
good. It makes me happy.
You know what
I don't
else
drink
does? Other kinds of milk, like almond milk and oat milk.
Almond milk's.
And there's no
Say
suffering.
the thing, Jack.
Davis, do you know how they?
Don't be on the wrong
how they
side of
make
this,
milk?
Jack.
Yeah, I grew up around cows, Aaron.
They have to take the baby away from the mom to get the milk. That's sad.
Not all milk is like that.
Can we
sometimes
get?
they just milk the
Can we
cows.
get
No.
a Tommy Lee Jones?
This bit is infinitely funnier because Aaron and Will
Aaron's
can't
a
hear
ghost.
the reverb that's on the mic.
Wait, is this still
Yeah,
on
you
reverb?
sound like you're in a cavern.
You
right
sound like
now.
you use those. Do you remember those? You remember those toy microphones you got as a kid?
This
that had,
just
like, the
in.
rings in them.
This just in. Davis sports animal cruelty.
Oops.
I have the headphones on now, and that's
All right.
And on that bombshell, I think it's just about time for us to get out of here today. Before we get thrown out of here today, I'm going to turn everyone's mic off so I can do my outro. Thank you to everybody who joined me on the show today, including DJP, Grayson Moyer, Davis Carroll, Aaron Folk, music director Will Root. Thank you for derailing my show. That's why I brought you on here. I knew it was going to happen. I just had to accept it. All right, thanks to Alex, who also made the trip as well. Thank you for phoning in your answer. It made it pretty exciting. So that is going to do it for today. Thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode of Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. However you joined us today, whether that be from your radio antenna from WeagleFM.com or by listening to our podcast or watching our exciting video live stream on YouTube. We would like to remind you that all of our previous episodes are available as a podcast commercial-free wherever you get your podcasts. So be sure to follow us on Twitter at CDiscAU for a link to that podcast. If you want information about the show, important updates, or interactions with our fellow DJs, you can get that on the Twitter as well. You are listening to Auburn's only student-run morning show. You can follow us and the station at WEGL at the handle at WEGL_AU on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Our dedicated team of marketing professionals, including Aaron, is working tirelessly to provide you high-quality content for fans of the station. And with that, for DJP, Grayson, Will, Aaron, Davis, and Alex, we will talk to you next week, Monday morning, to talk about Auburn's big victory over Georgia on Saturday at 8 a.m. This is Jack Hart signing off, as always. War Eagle, and go 1-0, everybody. Stay dry and have a wonderful fall break.
But I'm trying to see a colorful bird.
These are the moments you remember.